You're locked on to Hans Olsen and Scotty Chin.
That's right. Yeah!
On 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hans Olsen, Scott Gerard, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Kicking off your 1 o'clock hour, eating some great barbecue. Kenny J's Barbecue. They're available for you at the district. They can also bring the rig right to your house, and off you go. Whether you just want to have him cater your family dinner, or you got 1,000 people that you're working with you need to cater, boom, he'll take care of it for you. It's that simple.
Are we letting Lloyd just conduct this next interview, or are you and I doing it?
I think Lloyd's going to take
guys. Come on.
We are going
We're
to
learning
do
about
nothing.
teams in the AFC West.
Okay. So we have the Chargers tomorrow?
Maybe.
No, nobody likes the Chargers. Nobody in the state likes the Chargers.
I don't think so. I mean, DJ's given up on him.
Yeah, but our guy Steve Bartle, he still loves the Chargers.
Steve Bartle's still a Chargers guy?
He's a Chargers guy. That's why I say we need to do an AFC West podcast. We got everything
Bartle,
covered.
Bartle, me, Hans with the Raiders.
Hands for the Raiders, right.
And, no, not that Chiefs guy, though. We can't have him.
No, there's other Chiefs guys.
Because he'll just want to, yeah.
No, we won't have him, no.
With his Taylor Swift ringtone.
Who's that?
You know.
The Chiefs guy.
Oh, yeah.
The guy that you got sideways with on the Morning After podcast.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, that didn't end well.
No.
You got all of the FM 100 staff all mad at you, which if there's people you don't want to mess with, it's that crew.
They'll get you one way or the other.
They'll kill you. It may be with kindness, but they'll get you.
And it might be slowly.
Yeah. I mean, Rebecca Cressman gets you in one of those hugs, and she'll just squeeze you to death.
The life right out of you.
Yeah.
Out of love.
Oh, out of pure love. Nothing but affection.
Who gives a harder hug, me or Rebecca?
It's whether you want the immediate pain or the long-term pain. Because Rebecca, she's in it for the long haul.
Yeah.
And it's like, when you're that analogy, like when you put a frog in water and then turn up the water slowly and then you'll boil it to death. You're like throwing it right into boiling water and boom, you're dead.
It's instant vice grip.
Yeah. Rebecca, that's a slow burn right
Which
there.
is quick love.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of the AFC West, I know we're just having some fun, but speaking of the AFC West, is it just Kansas City's division to win again?
It kind of feels that way. But look, eventually they're going to get knocked off.
You would think.
And the Chargers are going to be good. The Broncos should be good. The Raiders are the Raiders. So why not this year? I don't know if the Broncos are ready to take that next step. They're a playoff team, but are they ready to challenge for a division? Are the Chargers ready to challenge for a division? I would think the Chargers are probably your best bet simply because they've got a quarterback that has been there long enough that he should be fully settled in now.
Hey,
and
you
got
know
Jim
it's
Harbaugh.
true. If the Broncos aren't challenging for the AFC West, that's a major disappointment. Tell me it's not true. They just went to the playoffs, Scotty.
If who? If the Broncos,
aren't challenging
Lloyd,
for the
stop.
AFC West.
I'm not having it.
Absolutely.
No, I'm not having it.
They just went to the playoffs. How is that not a major disappointment if they're not challenging for the AFC West? Are you kidding me? How is that not?
Because the Chiefs are still the best team in the NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that Broncos shouldn't be challenging.
No,
Come
stop
on.
it, Lloyd.
You're underselling the Broncos then.
What's
All you're doing is underselling the Broncos.
What's your definition of challenge? Is it like a game back? Is it 2 games back?
I'd say a game and a half back. 2 at the very, they should be right there, challenging. They should be going week to week and being like, well, if we win this one and the Chiefs possibly drop one, hey, we're right there. And tell me it's not true.
Not when you've got the new Jay Cutler in the division.
Okay, all right.
Because Justin Herbert is Jay Cutler.
Oh yeah, that's a good analogy.
No, it's 100% it.
Yeah.
You aren't a true Broncos fan if you're not believing that your team is not challenging for the AFC West. You're not a Broncos fan.
I'm a realist.
Lloyd, do you really think the Broncos are going to challenge?
Absolutely. Are you kidding me?
No, you don't think that.
Lloyd, okay, so tell me, what is Patrick Mahomes not going to make it through the season?
Yeah.
What
is Andy Reid going to have a quintuple bypass and miss the season?
Oh, jeez, that got a little close to home.
I don't understand where you're coming from. Kansas City had 15 wins last year.
They're not going anywhere.
Barely.
Look, Denver's
Every
in
game was barely. They barely squeaked by.
You
they
don't
could have easily
barely
went
win
the other
15
way.
games.
Lloyd, you're out of your mind. You're
No,
speaking.
you're out of your mind.
No.
And you, as a Broncos fan, are out of your mind. So-called Broncos fan.
I don't know what to do with him.
Lloyd, you're getting under his skin. We're about to lose Scott.
I mean, it's just like. I mean, I know you like to troll, but
There's no trolling here. They just went to the playoffs.
Well, yeah.
Okay, so why shouldn't they be challenging for the AFC West?
Because they finished 5 games back behind the Chiefs last year. That's why. Yeah, you went to the playoffs, but you were 5 games back.
Hey, you know what, Lloyd? How about we just worry about our Raiders?
Yes. Worry about you. How about that?
Okay.
Well, let's just worry about what Geno Smith's going to do for us. If the Geno Smith Ashton Genty combo,
Mr. Raiders fan defending your guy right now. Way to dig him out. Thank you.
Look, if Ashton Genty rushes for 1,100 yards this year, the Raiders will win
5 games,
7 games,
6 games.
I'll go 7 for the Raiders.
There's no way that the Raiders are getting to 7 wins this year. There's no way. Geno or not, there's no way that the Raiders are getting to 7 wins.
Oh, I think
you
that's possible.
You talk about being a realist. I'm a realist.
Okay,
yeah, let's be realist, Hans. Come on now. You're right.
You're not going to add 3
Lloyd,
wins for 2024.
6.5 wins for the Raiders.
Oh, man, I don't know.
I'll take the over.
You heard it. You heard that guy that we wrapped up, Frank Schwab, and we wrapped up the interview. He said they're at the bottom.
Well, yeah.
Why did we wrap up that
Why
interview?
did we wrap up? Because you got angry Raider fan mode and made me end the interview.
Okay.
We still have not talked about that enough. That was low down and dirty.
Okay, here's the deal.
It was a joke. I really did think you guys were going to rap.
You're adding 2 big receiving threats.
Yes.
You're adding a big-time running back. You've got Geno Smith that's going to be running and directing. He's got to stay healthy because Aiden O'Connell or Cam Miller or whoever's behind Cam Miller isn't going to do anything.
You got some stability at coach.
Well, and you've got some depth at running. Well, how is Raheem Mostert look at right now? Is Raheem Mostert, is he still kind of like considered a good backup? Should be.
I would think so. Lloyd?
You were able to keep Max Crosby for the time being.
They'll trade him for an office copier here pretty soon.
You added, may I add, and something that I think kind of went under the radar, you added former Utah defensive line legend on the interior, Lucky Fotu.
Yes.
You got Lucky from Arizona, which, how did that go? Or no, you got it from the Jets because he went from Arizona to the Jets, right?
I believe so, yeah.
And then you get him from the Jets. How did that slide under the radar?
I did.
Lloyd, did you know that they got Lucky Fotu?
He's trying to get our guy Q on right now.
Well, you add Lucky Fotu to Max Crosby. Ooh, 6.5, Scotty. Wait a second.
6.5.
I'm going to try not to let my Raiders fandom get in the way. I'm going to try to use my brain and not my heart here. I think that they go 1 game over, 6.5. I think that.
I said 7.
I think 7's very possible.
See, I was going to do a avatar bet with you, taking the over. An end-of-season avatar bet.
And not to mention, so they add Lucky Fotu.
Yeah.
They've got Jackson Powers Johnson, again, another in-state product. I know he ended up in Oregon, and we couldn't keep him here in the state of Utah. But he's coming in as a rookie. I believe he was their second-round pick, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Give me the over.
You going over?
I think 7 wins is possible.
All right, joining us now. By the way, I want to say it was a couple years ago. David Law gives me a call, and he's like, you got to check out this guy that I think is a future superstar. And I listen, and I'm like, whatever you got to do to get him in your network, you got to do it. Q Myers now, part of the Locked On Raiders and ESPN Las Vegas, joining us now. Q, how are you, man?
Hey, Q.
Fantastic. How you guys doing? Appreciate you having me on the show.
You bet.
All right, so I don't know what the Vegas line on over-under on Raiders games are. I set it at 6.5. Where would you go on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's around there, 6.5, 7.5. I think that this is a team that should win around 8, maybe 9. That doubles what they did last year, winning 4. I think that's reasonable expectations for a team year one with head coach Pete Carroll. And there's obviously question marks on this team, but there's a lot of positivity. There's a lot of good energy. There's a lot of competition going on. That's what Pete Carroll talks about. So I feel like that they have to be better than they were last year. So I've been comfortable with about 8 to 9 wins.
This is a hell of a draft for them. It wasn't a Q. I mean, we were just talking about Jackson Powers Johnson, but you get your running back in Genty. You're able to add a couple of receiving threats, one in Besh, who I was a big fan of. I call games in the Big 12, and I'm a big fan of that guy. It feels like this was kind of a home run draft. We'll see what Geno could do, but it feels like a really good draft.
Well, yeah, they had a good draft. I mean, JPJ, he goes back to last year. I mean, he was a second-round pick last year with following Brock Bowers. So they had a really good 1-2 punch with Bowers and then Jackson Powers Johnson. This year they get Ashton Genty, Jack Besh, who you just mentioned. That was the 1-2 punch there. I think there's a lot of excitement about this Raiders draft class and what they could possibly be this year. You know, they're going to need a lot of young guys to step up and play at a high level, and you know that's difficult to all of a sudden step into the NFL and immediately click. But they have a couple guys that can do it, right? And obviously Bowers did it last year. They're expecting Genty to do it this year. Pete Carroll wants to run the ball. Chip Kelly wants to run the ball. There's a lot of, like I said, excitement about what this team could be. The thing is that they're still trying to put it all together. Like Jackson's been working with the 1s and the 2s at the center position, where last year he started out at the left guard and then finally transitioned to the center. So they're still trying to figure out what pieces all mixed together.
So when you get a guy like Ashton Genty, and I saw him a lot last year doing Mountain West Conference games, so I saw a lot of Ashton Genty. When you draft a stud like that, obviously he's going to be your bell cow, but do they slowly ramp him up, you know, or does he immediately get thrown to the wolves and say, guess what, you're getting 25, 27 carries a game?
Yeah, I think he's getting thrown to the wolves. I mean, really, I think this offense is going to be Ashton Genty and Brock Bowers. I think that's what you're going to see a whole heavy dose of. And look, the Raiders last year were 32nd across the board in running. Every category that had to do with rushing the ball, they were 32nd. They were awful. They couldn't do it. So they go and get a guy in Ashton Genty who can do it. As you mentioned, saw him a lot in the Mountain West. I did as well. He can do it at a high level. So excited about him. This offensive line's got to come together to open up holes for him. But he's also a guy that, you know, we like to call a BYOB, right? A bring your own blocker, too. I mean, you know what I mean? He's like that guy, right? So I think that he'll be really good. You'll see a lot of him. You know, they also have Raheem Mostert, who's a touchdown machine. He's, you know, as long as he's healthy, he's going to be a player. And then they got Sincere McCormick and Zamir White. And I don't think both guys make the roster. It's going to be either or. The question is who's going to be there. But to answer your question, man, Ashton Genty is going to get the full deal workload. You'll see him catching passes out of the backfield. You may even see him in special teams returning some punts.
Speaking of this draft, you draft Tonka Hemingway, and can't wait to see what he can do out of South Carolina. But more importantly, you bring in a piece from New York in a former University of Utah superstar in Leki Fotu. Talk about that move, moving him to the interior, and what's Vegas' expectations out of Leki?
I think we lost Q. We'll try to get him back on here. There we go. Now we got you.
Yeah,
we got you.
Were you able to hear the question there, Q?
I heard you say something about Tonka Hemingway, and then I must have hit some weird part on this road. Sorry about that.
No problem. So you get Tonka Hemingway in the draft. I want to get some of your thoughts on him. But more importantly, you bring Leki Fotu, a University of Utah superstar, in from New York. What are Vegas' expectations out of Leki Fotu, and just your thoughts on Tonka as a draft pick?
Well, I think that the defensive tackle room, all of a sudden, there's a lot more attention on it, right? I mean, you got Christian Wilkins, who they just released. He was your big-ticket free agent a year ago, and they don't have him now. So now guys like Fotu, guys like Tonka Hemingway, guys like J.J. Pequise, they have to all step up. Jonah Laulu, he's going to have to step up. Like Adam Butler, all these different guys have to step up because now you have a question, who's going to be the main dog or the main guys in that defensive tackle room. So, you know, Fotu, the good thing about him, he's a 6-year vet, so he at least knows the ropes. It's not like you're expecting a rookie to go in there and step up his game immediately and and fill that void. And so that gives me a little bit more confidence that at least they know what to expect, and they're going to get a heavy rotation of all those guys. I think the defensive tackle room now has become one that we're really paying attention to see who emerges as the leaders there, and I think that they're going to keep a lot of them. It's over, preseason's over. I think you see, 7 or 8 of those guys probably kept on the roster because they're going to need that rotation to fill in for Christian Wilkins, who's no longer with the team.
Describe to me what a good season for Geno Smith looks like, given realistic expectations.
Well, yeah, he's got to have. Last year he threw for 4,000 yards, which is great, but he only had 21 touchdowns and I think 15 interceptions. They took 50 sacks. That can't happen. Ooh. He's got to be closer to 30 touchdowns. He's got to be under 10 interceptions, and he can't take 50 sacks. If he does, the season's going to go all bad for the Raiders. So for them to have a successful season, he's got to be efficient. Even if he's not 4,000-yard passer, that's fine. But the touchdowns have to be better, interceptions have to be less, and he's got to get the ball out. He can't be that guy. And he turned the ball over a lot as well in the red zone. That was the big issue as well in Seattle. A lot of turnovers in the red zone, and we've seen early in training camp. We've seen him get picked a couple times in the red zone. So that can't happen. That's the money area. You've got to score. Touchdowns preferred, but you've got to score something. You can't turn the ball over. And so he's got to protect the ball. I think that he's going to be benefited by having a healthy run game with Ashton Jeanty. I think he'll be benefited because he has Brock Bowers, who's great. He's got other weapons like Jacoby Myers and Big Mike, Michael Mayer. Dante Thornton Jr. is a guy that's a speedster. Trey Tucker, same thing. So I think he's got some good weapons, and Chip Kelly, his offensive coordinator, is going to help. But he's got to protect the ball at all costs.
All right, Q. Pete Carroll, yes or no?
Yes, absolutely. And it's funny, he's a guy that when they first started floating the idea if he could be in line to be the Raiders head coach, I was like, it's Pete Carroll. He's a little older. Yeah, I know he had success in Seattle, but, they kind of pushed him to the side for a reason. And so I wasn't really excited about that hiring, but now that I got to know him, now that he's in the building, he's showing the competition, the players, more importantly, are showing how much they believe in him and how excited they are and what they're willing to do to go out there and put their best foot forward. And the fact is, Antonio Pierce last year, I think he had a chance to be a good coach. He just didn't know how to do it, right? He knew what he wanted. He didn't know how to do it. Pete Carroll knows what he wants, and he's got the track record and the history to know how to do it as well. So that to me, there's a proof of concept there, and that's what he's doing every day when he's out there. So he's giving Raider Nation a feel that this team could win a lot of games. But as you guys know, they play at AFC West, so it's a very difficult division. All three teams, other than the Raiders, were in the playoffs last year. So who takes a step back, if anybody? So that's going to be the difficult part. But they should be a lot better. Pete Carroll's a really good head coach. I think that he's laying a good foundation for this team, and whenever he decides to hang it up, this team should be in position to move forward with whoever the next head coach is and already have a really good foundation in place. We'll see if it happens, but that's the theory.
So, Q, you just led into my next question there because you had 3 teams out of the AFC West go to the playoffs. If the Raiders are an 8 or 9 win team, that means that they would be on the cusp of a wild card. So who do you think out of the division, and I'm assuming between the Chargers and the Broncos, do you think they can overtake?
Well, that's the big question, and that's what I'm remaining to see. Who's going to take that step? Initially, I'll just look and say the Chargers, but then you have Jim Harbaugh, right? And he's a guy that's got a track record of having a lot of success, especially in early years with teams. So, but I'm interested to see if the Chargers defense is going to be as good as it was last year. Does it stay that level? Does it take a step back? And does Justin Herbert take a next step? He's the one guy I question, and people get mad at me for questioning him, but he hasn't proven it. He's a really good quarterback. He's got a ton of talent. We know that. But he hasn't won the big games, and they haven't had any success in the playoffs. He's 3-18 against playoff caliber teams. So as much as he's super talented, he hasn't won the games that he needs to, and a lot of quarterbacks get criticized for that. Herbert seems to kind of skate through the criticism, maybe because he's a Charger, and I don't know, maybe because they're not the biggest name in L.A. I don't know why. I wonder that all the time. But I want to see more from him because I know he's got the talent. I've seen it up close and personal. He just hasn't got it done in the big games.
How much does Tom Brady's ownership and participation really mean to the wins and losses from what you've observed, Q?
I don't think it means anything for the wins and losses. I think it means a lot for the credibility of the team and the organization. A team that a lot of people look at and say, oh, that's just the Raiders. Raiders being the Raiders. Raiders are a joke, this, that, and the other. I think Tom Brady, who has a commitment to excellence, who has an excellent career, right? He's obviously a Hall of Famer. He's that guy, the greatest of all time, all the Super Bowl wins. He's not going to put his name on something that's mediocre. Like, we know that. So he stands for something. That gives the opportunity for the organization to stand for something. That, to me, is the biggest factor in Tom Brady and his ownership, is that now you have a guy in place that, expects excellence and probably will do anything it takes to make sure that this organization becomes excellent again. Commitment to excellence, just win, baby. That's like a slogan on a T-shirt now. That's what people say. That's what I say at the end of the podcast. Just win, baby. But it hasn't meant anything in a very, very long time. His task is to get commitment to excellence and just win, baby, to actually mean something.
Q, we appreciate it, man. Thanks for hanging out with us. Great job on the Locked On Raiders podcast, as well as ESPN Las Vegas. And, look, I've spent some time working for David. I've worked around David. I know he's a pain in the butt, but great job impressing him because he's not an easy guy to hang out with. I'm kidding, by the way.
Yeah, that's my guy, man. That's my guy. I definitely appreciate y'all. Thanks for having me.
You got it. There he is, Q Myers, ESPN Las Vegas, Locked On Raiders, right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
This is your top 60 and 60 watch list as Hans and Scotty get you ready for the start of the 2025 college football season by highlighting the most influential players on their team for the upcoming season. And now,
Get the call, baby! Come on, let's go!
here's today's newest addition to the watch list.
All right, top 60 and 60. Let's go right to one of the best players. If we were doing a countdown, this guy would be in our top 5, I would think. Let's go to Utah and go to the offensive line.
Caleb Lomo, playing opposite side from Spencer Fano. We believe that we have the best set of tackles in the country. Terrific player, athletic, just exactly what you look for in a left tackle.
No doubt about that.
Not only does he think that he's got the best set of offensive tackles in the country, multiple national publications ranking the University of Utah as the number 1 offensive line in the country. Not in the Big 12,
Nope.
in the country. I've seen 2 major publications rank them that high.
Yeah, and it's hard not to rally around that because it just makes too much sense. When you have 2 potential first-round picks as your offense or as your right and left tackles, yeah, absolutely.
It does, however, put a lot of pressure on this offensive line to perform. So heads down, plug your ears, stop looking at any publications, stay away from social media, don't buy your hype, and go do your business.
Yep, plain and simple. All right, time for your good, the bad, and the ugly.
It's time to saddle up and talk about the winners and the losers. This is the good, the bad, and the ugly. Now, here's the good.
Good, the bad, the ugly, all brought to you by RGS Exteriors and Construction. We'll be out there tomorrow hanging with Tim and the crew, obsessed with quality results. All right, the good, we're going to go to New York. Jameis Winston, newest member of the New York Giants, participating in fall camp. Early drives would get the team up and down the field. Have you heard this?
No, but anytime Jameis is in the news, you said you've got something, Jameis, for the good, and so I've been anxiously awaiting.
So Jameis Winston is getting some reps, leading the team up and down the field in some scrimmages, and then gets in the red zone and then gets pulled, and Jackson Dart comes in and finishes the drives. And, Jameis has some opinions about that.
Man, I'm used to it. If you remember in New Orleans, Taysom Hill, I used to drive the team all the way down the field, and Taysom Hill used to come in and run quarterback power and score a touchdown. So I was like, hey, Jackson is Taysom Hill. Taysom from Idaho, but Jackson from Utah. I was like, it's that Utah connection. Every time I have a good drive, they're going to take me out and put a kid from Utah in to come score a touchdown. No, man, he needs those reps. He needs those red zone reps. I'd have been in the red zone a lot, and that was a good drive. I knew I was going to end up in the end zone, so it allowed me to visualize myself being in the end zone again.
Oh, my gosh.
I thought you'd like that.
That's a phenomenal soundbite.
It's like, man, I get a team up and down the field, and here comes Taysom Hill finishing off. And so I'm like, all right, fine. Jackson Dart, another Utah kid coming in here and doing my work for me.
He even caught himself in pause. I know Taysom's Idaho, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Utah.
same thing.
It's all Idaho, Utah. You basically got Utah with a hat on it. Like, what are we talking about? It's Idaho and Utah kids. I can't get a rep in the red zone. Can I hear that one more time? I just love hearing Jameis talk.
Jameis is the best.
Yeah,
man.
Here's Jameis Winston on his being pulled in the red zone.
Man, I'm used to it. If you remember in New Orleans, Taysom Hill, I used to drive the team all the way down the field, and Taysom Hill used to come in and run quarterback power and score a touchdown. So I was like, hey, like Jackson is Taysom Hill. Taysom from Idaho, but Jackson from Utah. I was like, it's that Utah connection. Like every time I have a good drive, like they're gonna take me out and put a kid from Utah in to come score a touchdown. No, man. Like he needs those reps. He needs those red zone reps. I'd have been in the red zone a lot, and that was a good drive. I knew I was gonna end up in the end zone, so it allowed me to visualize myself being in the end zone again.
You know what? Jameis has certainly had his past and some issues back in his college days, but I think you're hard-pressed to find a better teammate than that guy.
I agree, and I don't want people to confuse, because Jameis and Cam Newton get confused often, where people are like, oh, well, what a loudmouth, what a buffoon, getting in fight with kids at high school camps, all that. That's Cam. Cam's a different story.
Yeah.
I don't have time for him.
No.
I love Jameis.
Yeah.
Because I do think he's redemptive. I do think he's proved a point. I think he's a great soundbite, and I've heard he's a phenomenal teammate.
Yeah. There's your good. Let's get to the bad.
Now the bad.
So, as Hulk Hogan was passing, Vince McMahon was getting in a massive automobile accident. Have you heard this?
I've not heard this.
Well, I mean, I guess nobody's really heard it because Hulk Hogan is passing away, and Vince McMahon gets in a major auto accident with a BMW. He's driving a six-figure Bentley and hits a six-figure BMW, and apparently hard enough a collision that airbags deploy. Another automobile was involved in the accident. Ambulance responded. Everybody's okay, and Vince is going to be okay, but he was issued a misdemeanor summons for reckless driving and following too closely, resulting in an accident. And, let's just wait, because there's always more to the story, Scotty.
Usually more to the story, and when you get cited as reckless driving and following too close, there might be some other things that could follow behind that.
And I will wait to mention those other things until we hear or see, but they're going to run investigations.
Oh, yeah.
And I did see the pictures. His Bentley was ripped in half, man. The front bumper and front end was completely ripped off his Bentley. He hit hard.
I know you're going to miss Hulk, but don't get too much in a hurry to go see him.
There's no way, because Vince McMahon just sold. It's in the billions, right?
Oh, yeah. The dude's... God,
there's no way he's driving himself in a Bentley, is there?
It sounds like it. Yep. Honestly, if money was no issue, would you have a driver?
If I was high?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, if you were drunk or high, yeah, absolutely. I'm just talking about in general.
We're waiting to see what's happened.
We're waiting. Remember?
We don't know.
If I was a billionaire and sold, I don't know if you'd find me on a day where I wasn't floating on clouds. So, yes, I would have a driver.
Jeez.
I mean, just to be honest.
We're just being honest.
I would have a driver.
Wait, are we not in the tree trust? The trust tree?
What? I thought my driver had stripes on or polka dots. Thought my driver was wearing something lacy and nice. I thought this was the safety tree.
Oh, my God.
This is the safety tree.
It is.
Who's judging?
And, who's listening right now? We're not in front of all of our coworkers right now.
I know. Scotty, if I was a billionaire, I would have a pilot, and we would do helicopters.
Yeah.
Because I thought, as an impressionable 23-year-old showing up at the Indianapolis Colts training camp and having Jim Irsay land a helicopter right in the middle of our practice field.
Yeah.
And as it's coming in, coaches are like, hey, to the sideline. And it's coming and lands right in the middle of the practice field. I remember thinking,
that's the life.
I'd like to be that guy.
And do you think he asked for Jim Mora or Tony Dungy's permission to do that?
No.
I'm the owner, and if I want to land my helicopter in the middle of your practice field, in the middle of practice, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
So deal with it.
Hey, and one thing I could say for Jim Irsay, he was never driving.
No?
He was never driving.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I love driving.
Well, yeah, because you're a very sober man.
Well, that's true, yeah. All right, let's get to the ugly.
And, of course, the ugly.
Oh, as we said earlier in the week, wait for the details.
Yeah.
Wait for the details. Well, the details starting to come out.
We get some clarification on why Markeith, was it Markeith?
Yep. And, well, Marcus is the one that's in trouble. Markeith's the one that came to his aid, yeah, or his defense.
Well, Marcus Morris has allegedly got himself in major trouble with the casinos.
Yes.
So we should have guessed this, because if you get thrown in holding, which he did, and you get kept in holding, which he still is, he's been in holding since Sunday. And when you are a perceived multimillionaire, I mean, Marcus Morris played in the NBA for a lot of years. You'd think that you'd be able to get out. Well, the judge denied the lawyer's motion for bond, saying he would only release him to Nevada authorities for extradition, which tells me that the judge is also in the casino's hands.
Yes. Like,
Vegas also has the grips on the judge, saying, if you release that dude without giving us custody, we're coming after you. You know, you can defraud the everyday, ordinary, average man. I talked about how one of my best friends in the world defrauded for $300,000.
Yes.
Guy ripped $300,000 off of him, never blinked twice, complete sack of trash. And guess what? Everybody's too limp to go after him. The guy should be in prison for 10 years minimum.
Easy.
Ripping $300,000 off somebody. Now, you rip $300,000 off Vegas,
it's go time.
You're screwed.
Yep.
And that's what he did. He defrauded the Wynn in Las Vegas for $150,000. He also defrauded MGM Grand in Vegas for $115,000. Wrote checks, got cash, blew cash, checks bounced, didn't answer his phone.
Yeah, and you know what I think what he was trying to do was essentially he didn't have any money on him. I think he might probably be broke. And he's like, I'm an NBA player, wrote checks, got the chips, and was hoping to turn a profit, and probably blew it and lost it all. And he's like, oh, we got to get out of here. Hey, bro, MGM's on the phone right now. Don't answer.
Your first problem was thinking you were actually going to win.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so
sure.
true. You sit down with $150,000, you know you're done.
Yeah, you're in trouble.
How much money did Marcus Morris make NBA? Grok. He made $16 million.
That's it?
Oh, sorry. Made over $126 million. He made $16 million in 2021.
Yeah.
He made $16 million in 2021.
Yeah. Yep.
$126 million in his career, and he's bouncing a $115,000 check.
Those are those career earnings up through the 23-24 season. He had 5 years of $15 million or more consecutive years.
Could you imagine making $126 million and having to write a fraudulent check?
Yeah.
What do you do with that guy?
You put him in prison.
You put him in prison.
Yep.
And guess who will do it? Vegas.
And Vegas.
You're screwed with the wrong city, bud.
And once you go in prison, you might lose a kneecap or two. Vegas doesn't forget.
You might not make it out of that prison.
Hans and Scotty, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Coming up next, whole world news when advertising goes poorly. We will give you the details on that next. And in the 2 o'clock hour, Mitch Harper will join us. BYU opening up camp. We'll get his thoughts on the Cougars. It's all right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Go! It's time to span the globe for the hard-hitting news you care about. Well, not really. But hey, at least we found it interesting. This is Whole World News on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
We've got the whole world in our hands.
You got the whole world in our hands. We got the whole world in our hands. We got the whole world in
Hans and Scotty, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. All right, Hans, there's a lot of places that say all you can eat. Hey, here's a great opportunity to come to this restaurant. It's all you can eat. Oh, really? Is it? Because Hans and I got asked to leave a very high-class buffet because we were killing all of their supply of crab legs.
Yeah.
So just because you say all you can eat doesn't necessarily mean all you can eat, as found out by this place that was, well, let's just say they have a very unsatisfied customer right now.
A customer got upset because an all-you-can-eat fish fry didn't live up to its name.
It's false advertising.
Bill Wisseth has a beef with the all-you-can-eat fish fry at Chuck's Place in Thiensville. He was there Friday when the restaurant cut him off after he ate a dozen pieces.
We asked for more fish, and they refused to give us any more fish.
The restaurant says it was running out of fish and patience, arguing Bill has been a problem customer before. They sent him on his way with another 8 pieces, but that still wasn't enough. He was so fired up, he called the police. Why did you think you needed to call the police about it?
Well, because I think that people have to stand up for consumers.
And he wasn't done. He came back 2 days later with a picket sign. Elizabeth Remming is a waitress there and says they've tried to work with Bill over the years, like letting him have a tab he still hasn't paid off. What do you have to say about that?
Well, I've got a running account here.
Bill isn't backing down, saying his fish fry fight isn't over.
He's got a tab with an all-you-can-eat place.
And he hasn't paid it.
I'm sorry. This is going to go against probably popular opinion. He's my guy. Like, this is my guy.
Well,
he's established a tab. He overstays his welcome. He eats way more than he should. He's 550 pounds, still comfortable in his skin.
Yeah, he's a large fella.
Oh, dude, he is the fish-eating Lizzo of our time. Like, this man is my idol.
Oh, and he's got the unfair labor practices sign.
Oh.
He's a one-man picket machine out there.
And he's fighting for me, the consumer.
And he's fighting for himself and to get more
And he's not paying his tab.
And he's not, like you shared me this story. This is the story that you found, and you shared it with me this morning. And I was all with him. I was all team whatever his name is. Until I found out he had a tab that he hadn't paid up yet.
I like how she's like, what do you have to say about that? He's like, oh, yeah, I have a tab with the establishment.
I have a running tab with the establishment, but they cut me off.
Yeah, they cut me off, so why would I pay? They sent him with 20 pieces. And by the way, Scotty and I watched the actual newscast.
Yeah.
And it's showing the pieces. And it's catfish, and it's deep fried, and it's about 12 to 13-inch long filet, probably 4-inch wide,
massive,
deep fried in a batter, and he had 20 of those.
Yeah, 12. They cut him off, and they're like, "Hey, look, if you just leave, we'll give you 8
more. But you got to leave.
We're running out. You're killing our inventory." 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.